video today.
All right. Well, we are now live because my thing for automatically going live in my stream deck is broken. I really need to redo this entire fucking thing. But hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are doing session 2 of Necromunda finally. Now, you may notice something a little bit off. The fact that there are only 2 people here with me. That is sadly going to be the case for today. As one of our members is dealing with the aftermath of basically Florida and the hurricane, and is not in a good position, so her introduction will be much belated, sadly. And our other player is having surgery, probably right now, or is maybe recovered. I don't know, but yeah. So we have our last 2 players, and it's been too long since we've had a session, so we must keep going. Otherwise, this campaign is destined to die, as has been the record in the past for this channel. So, with that in mind, we are back in the world of Necromunda, the Underhive of Hive Acropolis, with our 2 remaining players right now, at least the ones going on this mission from Sarah Creed. Casildo Rahim and Sigismund, accompanied by Casildo's younger sister.
He's probably going to be like hanging out in the base during the mission, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's been asked to step aside and look over some of the weapons and stuff for Sarah Creed because he's a gun hand. So he is doing some tinkering, is what CC is up to as of right now. And the rest of the party is going to be going on a task with Sarah Creed. Well, for Sarah Creed, more specifically. She's staying back too.
Yeah.
Her initial statement to you, as you get used to this place and wake up in the morning after a rough night's sleep. After all, it's the Underhive. Things aren't necessarily comfortable around here. Basically, so I'm looking to start up a gang. Problem is, you need some muscle to run a gang. So I'm going to be asking you to do a bit of recruiting for me, to see, test your mettle a little bit more, if you don't mind me saying, and also because I can't really afford to go out right now, but that is a different matter. I have a couple of potential places you can go, but the biggest one I'm going to recommend is a nearby living hab, near here, just about 20 minutes walk away. It's a bit of a hike, but you'll find a bunch of people living over there. Whether or not they'll be useful to us, that's for your discerning eye.
Anywhere where the Emperor's faith is strong?
There are no notable ecclesiarchy locations in this section of the Underhive, I'm sorry to say. Any other questions?
I do tend to scare people off more than drive them to me. I'm wondering if I am the right person for this mission.
Sigismund whispers a bit under his breath, I have much work to do.
You will find things out. You'll figure out a way. I'm trusting in your abilities. After all, you are a hired hand. I'm hiring you to get more hired hands. Sort of just in the nature of the job. Now, any last questions for me before you venture off?
I don't think that I have anything.
No? All right.
6.
No, that's if you're sure, then we will go.
Hi. All right. Here are the coordinates for your data slate, and off with you. I have work to do. Not pleasant work, but work nonetheless. And with that, she just gives you some coordinates to a place out a bit west. of where you currently are that they're asking you to head out to.
All right. Clearly, we should be heading north. I apologize.
You are a joker. Ha ha. Ha ha. I will gut you.
I know. Also, unpause the game so that everything works properly. I think that is spacebar or enter.
What was it?
I think that you unpause the game.
Give me just a second. I need to fix something real quick, and then I'll do that.
It's fine.
Because I'm still recovering from all the shit that decided to break.
Damn. Because technology is funny.
Yes. There, we are now unpaused, and I am moving everyone over here. Welcome back to the Underhive. This is... God damn. Seriously? Why is nothing working for me? Okay, it's the usual. It's just the usual. It's how things work around here. Welcome
happens.
to the Underhive and the world map for those of you who are watching on the stream. We have a small little thing here. There, that should be updated. You should have a notification of a little icon of Sarah, where Sarah's base is relatively. And she is giving you a small marking for just about here on the world. Next, nearby. Actually, that's much too far out to be only about a 10-minute walk, considering the size of a hive. There. That's where you're going.
Just down the street. Couldn't be easier.
Yep. Hopefully we don't get stabbed along the way.
Right. Yep. Fair enough concern to have.
Oh, question. Do I even get a chance to heal from my wounds during this whole time or no?
You've healed a little bit from your wounds overnight, so for all effects and purposes, you're back up to max health.
Alright. I only had 2 anyways. Out of like 12, so yeah.
No, all of the secret messengers are not still on this map, Penguin. Mostly because we're not on roll 20 anymore. Those were all drawn on roll 20 while you guys are being dipshits. For those of you who don't know, Penguin was from the previous attempt at a Necromunda campaign. The drawings still exist on the roll 20 archived campaign. Not here.
Oh boy.
No pee-pee poo-poo for you.
Yes. Poo-poo check. Oh god.
Right. But as you move about, you head on down the street to find this location. I'm just going to zoom in the stream camera to show the relative scale. That's the entire world map. This is about the scale of how far you're going in the world. These are rough approximations of like the areas that you're in, but you are mostly in the southwestern Hab block area of this portion of the Underhive. There are a couple levels. There's like one level above you and one level below you. But those are not areas you are like to explore anytime soon. I will just say bluntly. Unless you decide that you want to get really masochistic. But yeah, that is as happens. And after that 20 minutes of travel, you find yourself newly at the Hab block. What you find is a area filled to the brim with trash and debris and detritus. All the while, I accidentally spawned you on top of a fence, which I need to adjust mildly. There you go. You're going to need to update your token here, too, because I didn't update it after your help. But Yeah, so you see those yellow boxes around people are expected, by the way. That's what's something else I added in. It's
So
a
does
factioning
Sigismund just
system.
stay like quiet the whole way, or does he try to like strike up conversation with Casildo, or what?
Yeah, let's do.
Ye-
Is there
yeah.
any going ons
What?
during the
What's his?
Sigismund
travel?
would ask about where are you even from, seeing that how to him you look weird, and to everyone Sigismund looks weird.
Yeah, Casildo will say, I don't know if you've been beyond the walls of this hive, but there is a vast and desperate wasteland beyond, and that is where I used to call home. My family and I. We lived in a city of tents, rode giant roaches through the desert. And you said you were from somewhere else as well. You said you came from off world.
Indeed.
Well,
I've been
what's the deal with that? Where are you from? How did you get down here? Based upon your gear and your bearing, you have a noble presence.
Well, it is by the Emperor's grace that I'm even alive anymore, and that I'm standing here. Otherwise, I would likely have been killed with how everyone else on that planet is going to end up now.
Well, this emperor sounds like a fine fellow.
Sigismund is already like,
Like eyebrow twitching.
what do you mean, this Emperor? How have you not heard of him?
All we know is of the desert wastes. We don't know of anything beyond. Feels and I are learning a lot about what it's like to be a man in this place.
If you'll
Oh,
excuse me, that wouldn't describe me very much, but yes, it was really boring out in the wastes.
A human, I should say.
That's
oh,
better.
you will both have much to learn then. But we're just around the corner of where we were supposed to end up.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna try and recruit some folks. I don't really know much of what to say. I assume you have some training in the art of speech oration.
But of course, the citizens of the Emperor follow my every word.
This is gonna be hilarious already.
Well, then he just like gestures up the street. You should go ahead. I will keep an eye out for threats.
Oh god. What's even better is that I start the fucking game with a fucking what was it? I need a Lord Heller, which is basically,
An announcer thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Vox
yeah. I want to see if it has any images on any of the wikis. No and no, unlucky, because that would be even funnier.
Yeah, so I guess it feels as like behind,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah,
then you're like
Mostly,
along.
in front.
yeah. I'm mostly
And
gonna go ahead to try to find a good spot and all of that.
I don't have control of Philza right now.
Give me just a second to give you control over sheet.
This looks
I'm surprised.
like
I'm surprised she's coming. I thought she would stay back at the Creed's area or whatever, but she could show up. That's fine.
I mean, it's up to you, I think.
She can be bored.
Yeah.
You should have control over now, yeah.
Yeah.
This seems like a bar.
So, as you approach this area, it is not a bar like the place you were before, the Snapboard Brew. Instead, this is, as it says, the Live Hub. It is for lack of a better way to describe it in IRL, out of character, basically a big, shitty apartment complex.
Oh no.
And as you can tell, there's trash bloody everywhere, stacked all over the place. The booth outside seems to be selling some form of rough, rudimentary food that is the closest thing this Underhive passes for, fast food of interest other than ration bars. It probably has numerous rats included in its recipes. You don't know, but
You're
that's basically
sending
as you were expecting.
you're sending a preacher to an apartment complex. You are 100% aware of what you're doing.
It's like, I guess we're going door to door.
Well, let's see what's inside first.
Yeah, so Casildo will go and like open the door up.
Do you want to go first or?
Yeah,
Yep, you can just click to open the door. You should have access.
to fans.
Let me check too. Yep.
Yep, it is pretty damn dark in here, but as you come inside, you can see that there are a few different rooms, each of which seem to have a small panel outside, some cogitator of some sort, intended to open the door. They are all like sealed locked kind of things. You're honestly surprised that they have this much intricacy to the doors down here, at least those of you who vaguely know what an underhive is like, but it is not a pretty place. It smells rancid. The trash outside is only as you might probably expect. The smell emanating from the rooms indicates to you that there is much more trash inside as well. And the one person you can see here inspecting the lighting in this area, which obviously seems to be broken, is obviously not from here.
So it's like there's someone here, like I see her. She's like inspecting the lighting. She's like a technician of some sort. And what exactly were Sarah's instructions? Like, just get warm bodies? Like, was she looking for anyone in particular, or?
So you got a basic rundown with what she sent to your cogitator, your data slate, basically saying, get people who know how to hold a gun and are willing to work. Basically, like it's really rudimentary. Warm bodies, they can shoot a basic pistol. Which, to be fair, in the Underhive, most people can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casildo will like knock on this first door, I guess.
You knock on the first door and hear no response. The lady turns to look at you and simply says, "That's the storage closet."
Oh, sorry, I thought that was a room.
No, that's the storage closet. The next one is the bathroom. Why are you here? I didn't have any guests.
This is a fancy establishment if it's got a bathroom.
Well, we can only deal with so much trash.
To offer some work to the folks that live here.
Oh, a potential employer. Excellent. I could use some help getting these deadbeats off the ground. I am the landlord here. My name is Nareem. And your name would be?
I am Casildo.
I'm Sigismund, your lady.
Interesting.
Is Filza going to introduce herself, or she's not joining the conversation?
She's like hanging onto my cape, you know.
Yeah.
Filza is trying not to bring attention to herself, but you know that the reasoning for this is not because she's shy, it's because she doesn't want to be recognized when she inevitably does something.
Right, exactly.
And Nareem looks at you guys over and just like, like nonchalantly steps forward, and you notice the first thing she does is like you grab your cape and lift it up and inspect it and whatnot. It's like in most cultures it would be really rude, like obvious behavior, but here it's sort of the norm that people just do this kind of shit. They no guts, no glory kind of shit. Don't care. If you turn around and you swing a punch at her, then that's basically par for the course. Where are you from? And what are you employing for? She pulls out her quill and the parchment that she has and prepares to write down some notes.
Oh, we're just looking for a little bit of muscle. You know, if there's somebody here that you could recommend that you know can join us for a venture.
Anyone who is willing to work for the Emperor is welcome.
She looks at Casildo, and for a moment you see like a picture of like realization on her face, and then fucking Sigismund says what he says, and her face squinches up, and she's just like, "You two are sending me mixed signals here."
Do not mind what the priest says. He is he's
yes,
deep in it.
Quite. Now, let me introduce you to some of our locals and see if any of them might be of interest to you. This room here above me is Thessus Acquire. He is a... let me just allow him to introduce himself. And with that, she just, like, opens the door, and you see, like, the basics of a simple room. There's a small picked caster glowing in the corner, and there's the sound of snoring off in the distance beyond it. So just basically a rough area. There's some detritus and leftover like rat corpses on the table for dinner and whatnot. It's a room. It's a bedroom basically, but from your angle you can't really see much else.
I like peer inside. Is there anybody?
Yeah, so you can go ahead and like step forward and see what you can see from there. Yeah, there you could hear the sound of snoring, and there's a strange figure over on the side.
I don't want to bother him when he's sleeping.
He is sleeping and too late anyway.
Yeah, I'll like and like knock on the wall.
Who is it?
Excuse me, sir. Your landlady asked us to speak to you about an opportunity.
What's that? You're gonna have to speak up.
Do you wish to serve the Emperor?
If you could come over this way. Like Casildo like immediately regrets telling Sigismund that he should do the speaking.
Let me get a good look at you. Pulls up your cloak again. You feel like this is going to be a habit today of everyone in this complex for some reason.
I like sort of whisk the cloak. I like whisk the cloak out of his hand, and I say, "Do you wish to be hired for a venture?"
Fired. I was fired.
Well, there's a new opportunity for you.
Not only will you be getting paid, but you will also be serving the Emperor in a glorious crusade.
Like Casildo just like face palms his mask.
Crusade? That sounds like a fancy word from you. What are you doing with all these weird... And it's just like now dawning on you that he has like candles on his head. With the hat that he dons as he approaches you. Holding a cane also with a candle on the end of it.
There is a group in the making a ways away, and we are looking for men of your stature to join with us, and there's quite a bit of money in it for you.
I could use some money. Hey, when's my rent due? It was due 2 weeks ago. So I still have 3. Gotcha. Yes, 3 days. Yeah, 3 weeks. Please, employ him.
I look over my shoulders like, this is the best you got?
No, he is the first we got. You'll inhabit block, not necessarily a barracks, so to say, if I can gather from your tone what kind of help you are looking for in the first place.
Well, I mean, we're not looking for military help. We're looking to help the folks around here with, their
military.
Yeah.
At that, he just pulls out a las pistol and points it straight at your head, and he's just like, "Are you one of the Mex Guard?
One of the what?
Are you one of the Mex?"
He is. I'm not.
Another welder! He turns this las pistol to you, Sigismund. Would one of you give me some sort of I forget what it's called in this system again, because every single fucking system has a different name for it. Perception, the closest equivalent.
What's your perception? It's probably better than mine.
Oh, you want to do awareness, not a cool check to see if we freak out with them pulling a gun on us?
Perception, yes. I want you to do an awareness for me. So it's perception in this system.
Perception, yes.
I only have 2 greens in my perception. You?
I've got.
This is going to be a general check. So just the 2 purple die that defaults to.
Do I also roll it, or only one of us?
You can both roll it, and depending, I'll tell you if you notice it immediately or not, or if you have to be told by your compatriot.
So I got a threat and successes.
Perception and
so you can
roll.
So you can charge me for the threat that I rolled.
In this circumstance, I'm not actually worried too much about the threat. It was purely a success or failure kind of thing.
Sure.
You both all of a sudden notice that this las pistol doesn't have any magazine in it. It has no ammo. He is holding a dry pistol and pointing it at you and doesn't seem to realize.
Would you like a magazine for that pistol?
Magazine? I don't read those anymore.
My friend, your last pistol is empty. I can recharge it for you with the light of the Emperor if you wish.
Empty? No, you can still do this. Would you do a? He basically pistol whips you. On the head. It's just a basic unarmed thing, but he's not really trying to actually hurt you. You do note that from how hard he hits you, it seems like you could probably hit harder, like he's holding back.
Good hit.
Just to expedite things here.
Casildo will kind of react, and he'll push forward into the guy's space and grab him by the his shirt and push him up against his worn out sofa. Be like, listen here.
Oh, I've seen this technique before. All right, we're going to make an opposed athletics check.
He pushes in. What's the difficulty, 0? Because we're doing against each other.
Yeah, it's just against each other.
I got success and 2 advantage.
User, I don't have permission to update.
So I'm gonna use that advantage to buy myself a blue die when I try to persuade this guy to join our cause in a minute.
Give me just a second here to get the right roll up. It is no difficulty check, so
Jesus.
You attempt to grab him, and Sigismund, what you notice is this gentleman, seemingly a bit frail and weak beforehand, proceeds to step to the side, definitely grab Casildo's arm and put him in a back arm break.
Ow.
He's just holding you still for a moment, and then he lets go and pushes you back out
Sir,
of
I'm
his room
trying to
mildly.
make you some money so you can pay your rent.
I
Relax.
was about to warn you, but he is ex-guard.
Excellent.
He releases you and shoves you back to like this tile here.
Look, do you want a job or not?
Yes, job.
Well,
What
then.
did he say?
He said yes, job. So
I could use some employment. I only have 3 weeks left on my rent. 3 days.
well, we're gonna talk to some of the other folks in this area. Why don't you
I'll
make
pay myself. And then with that, he just shoves you both out and closes his door.
Oh, okay.
And you hear
Well,
scattered movement in the room on the other
Make
side of the
yourself
door.
presentable. We'll be right back. Do you have anybody else you would recommend?
He was ex-military, but he got enough shell shock to give him very poor hearing, as you can gather. He's still got a bit of his ability left. There's only one reason I keep him around, is that whenever somebody tries to break in, he's actually able to deal with them.
Yeah,
But
Casildo
I'll
like
find a
looks
way.
behind himself and sees that Philza is like down the hall instead of behind him, and he like sort of like Philza, get over here.
So what you're saying about the light of the Emperor, she says, as she continues the conversation that she had apparently started with this lady over here. Ah, yes, the Emperor's light. It soaks into all of us. Oh, is that another adept? Is that the man with you? It's Sigismund. You see like 3 purity seals on her and a bionic eye.
The two of you should definitely chat.
Casildo, perception for me. Difficulty 3.
Fail.
Damn.
All right. Give me just a second. And with that, I need to do such. She turns and notices something moving out of her pocket involuntarily and seems to grab it and she's like, what in the Emperor's light? And you immediately notice Philza back up and be like, it was a pleasure talking to you. And just like move away.
Yeah, Casildo just like watches her through his mask like all the way back.
She gives
And,
you a
like-
sly smile and just like looks back at the lady.
He just shakes his head.
Yeah, so what you didn't notice immediately to color out on it happened a short moment later where she was trying to use telekinesis to take something out of her back pocket. Which, by the way, she is doing something really dumb like that. She does have to do, I forget how this system... Ooh, I forget where I have the stuff for Perils of the Warp check.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I need the fucking check to see if she even gets one in the first place. Anyway,
she's going to summon a demon.
I like lean down and whisper to her, like, I told you not to do things like that while we're here.
Can I also roll an awareness because she did a psychic power or whatever? And I have Cynician.
Oh, I did it wrong in that circumstance. Actually, no, I haven't done the proper check, so I need to do that properly now.
By the way, is it fine if I also roll perception?
All right, she was successfully manifesting her power, but the threat was that this lady is a little bit confused and suspicious of her now. That's about it. She doesn't really act on it in any way, shape, or form. It's only a peril of the warp if you get a crit fail, basically.
Makes sense.
So, or at least that's the easiest way to describe it. It's one of the foreboding symbols, the worse than threat symbol.
Yeah.
That only red die can normally give. But
And
with that in mind,
yeah,
go ahead.
Is it fine if I also roll my Signitions, aka Perception,
Yeah, go ahead.
with 2 normal blacks? Failed 1 threat.
I'm not going to act on that threat. You just don't
Yeah.
notice anything.
So normally, if you don't want to act on threat, you should be giving us stress.
Uh,
In a
I think
situation
that is
like
strain.
this, where it's just like sort of a mild situation, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
If it's like, if I impose a check on you and you gain threat, I will do that. But if it's like your
Gotcha.
own kind of check for something and I just allow it and it doesn't make sense to, I just won't impose like debuffs on it.
Anyways,
Because he was just like, did he notice anything? No, he didn't. Okay, moving on. With that in mind, the lady.
So I'll turn back to the landlord and say, is there anyone else that you would recommend we talk to?
Try the door down here. Pardon me,
He just
gentlemen.
like shakes his head walking.
They do not.
And then he like glares at fills up. He's like, stop it.
She's still smiling.
Stay behind me.
She clicks on the door and pages. And after a moment, it's just like, what's up? I have a gentleman here looking to offer employment, and you are also behind on your rent. Just like hear this clicking and movement of feet, and all of a sudden the door will open up, and you will see the form of a woman standing a low stick and staring at you as she leans against the door frame.
I bet like a more description maybe. Like what is it about this woman?
Oh yes, she's holding a low stick lit and obviously smoking. The permeating smell of the smoke comes out as the door opens, so you can assume she smokes a lot in her room. Bright orange hair on her head, a very mobile outfit with a tailcoat, like red shoulder pads, like a trench coat kind of deal going on, knee pads. Just it's a little bit par for the course for the usual kind of stuff that people essentially scrap together down here. But she doesn't seem to be holding any sort of aggression. She's just bored as she leans against the frame with like a I would rather be anywhere else right now kind of face, and looks at you and says, "What's up?"
Sigismund sort of has to come over Casildo's shoulder and say, "Are you looking for work in the name of the Emperor?"
Oh, bye. Shut
It's
the
not.
door.
It's not in the name of the emperor. It's just work. Stop saying that.
She just like
I like knock on the door.
there's a pause for a moment, and you hear yet more feet clattering around as another set come around. The door opens again, and instead of the woman, you see another figure instead. A strange, tall, obviously very the flesh is weak inclined kind of individual comes up to the door brandishing multiple bladed appendages, a servo skull attached to an extended limb, looking at you with 3 eyes. He's just a wreck of a person, and he's obviously just like putting on a glove after having done something. As he looks at you and says,
Casildo looks. You can't tell what he looks like, but he's shocked.
Sigismund takes like one look at him and thinks in his head, "Oh, great! It's one of the Omniscire ones."
Anyway, we were looking for individuals to join with us on a venture for some monetary compensation.
I see.
And according to your landlord here, you're a bit behind on the rent and could probably use some thrones.
Yes. What would this employment entail?
We just need a little extra muscle for a thing.
Sigismund is trying to restrain himself from to scream.
And
To
if
start
you
talking about working for the Emperor and all of that.
like, Casildo's literally like a hand behind his back,
a
like
cool check.
like holding Sigmund's mouth closed.
Sigismund. Roll me a cool check.
A cool on a discipline. I think that this is cool.
Discipline is better in this case, yes. Difficulty 3.
I do want to roll cool sometimes for things where I shouldn't be able to hold myself, but in this case, it's like, yeah. Anyway, difficulty 3.
Will you hold your tongue is probably more discipline.
No.
As you're attempting to hold his mouth shut.
I got 5 advantages though.
Doesn't matter.
But you feel compelled to say something. What does Sigismund say? As you push Casildo's hand aside from your mouth.
The finest work for the Emperor. And probably a bunch of other almost incoherent stuff about serving the Emperor, which is...
You just like hear Casildo like loudly sigh.
Which is it fine to say that to an extent it is somehow weirdly compelling because of the fight advantages?
You at least so you find yourself compelled to speak in the name of the Emperor against this one who obviously does not follow in his Emperor's direct light and somehow allowed heretical religion.
I
but
want to say
in
that
in the manner you do it, you don't seem to come across as offending somehow.
Yeah, somehow Sigismund mostly blares out about the work that they're hiring him for.
Yeah, you feel compelled to speak, and you start off with the Emperor stuff, but you actually get to the point somehow, is what the advantage will do for you in this case, as I'm going to just say it, and he looks at you and sort of nods a little bit and says, "So, the dirty work of the Emperor down here in the Underhives. I will consider this employment. I will get back to you as you leave this facility. After all, I doubt you are done talking to the denizens yet. My associate..."
Look over at the landlady, and I'm like, "Are there more to speak with?"
There are a couple more.
All right. Well, and this has got the promise of future employment as well if the job goes well. This wouldn't just be a one-time thing.
I will consider that at a further juncture. But for now, I must speak with my associate. Good day.
She's welcome too. He closes the door.
Yeah, as he closes the door.
Like Casildo just like is like face palming and like he ends up like smashing his like face plate into like the wall.
I just had maintenance done on that. I would very much appreciate if you didn't break my wall.
I told you that I can come.
He just looks down at Sigismund and he's just like, "Why couldn't you be the pink-haired dwarf this time?"
I'm moving along.
That was weird.
She that was probably by accident in the background because I knocked over something onto part of my keyboard. So I apologize about that. Moving along.
It's like she's a Cylon. Get her.
Yeah, I think it popped up something from my voice mod accidentally. Whoops.
It was like you should have used that on the other guy, honestly.
Yeah.
I was going to do this voice on the other guy, but I didn't have a quick way to set up my things accordingly to actually work. So
it happens.
To suffice, he hasn't had any modifications he hasn't had like a Vox installed in his throat yet.
Yet he was just about to install it.
But as this happens, Narim steps to the side and says, the room above, we only have eccentric people here. I'm not even going to bother, like, sugarcoating it. Here.
Let's see.
David.
Are they also do on rent?
Actually, no. I want him gone. What kind of business do you have with me today, Narim? I have a very tight schedule to keep. Hello, a couple of very eccentric fellows. How are you doing today?
Casildo, are you
Hello.
Casildo in character?
Sorry. Yes, Casildo is just like flabbergasted.
Oh, hello. He approaches you and grabs your hand in a very tight grip and shakes it rapidly up and down.
We've been sent here to try to find some help for a mission.
Oh, a mission! Is it a mission of diplomacy, of trade, or of the other kind? He says as he strokes his mustache.
A little of all three columns.
Excellent. I am looking for more business endeavors. Now, what will be my stake in this endeavor? We can start off at a bit of a 50-50, if you will.
You'll be working for a salary that'll be negotiated between you and our boss.
Oh, pish posh, you can do better than that. Jeez. Narim, you keep bringing me the worst job offers here. Is it just that you want to get rid of me or something? Yes. Oh, you kidder, you.
So you're interested or not?
Well, what would be my requirements in this endeavor of yours?
Do you have a weapon?
Who told you? I mean, yes, I do. Somewhere.
Then you fulfill the requirement.
Oh, you are looking for some hired muscle, I see. Yes. Is there room for promotion in this field?
I mean, there's room for, like, more employment if the job goes well.
Good enough! I will get my things.
Great.
I forgot to introduce myself as well to you. He grabs Sigismund's hand and shakes it violently.
Yes, the name is Sigismund. I will be glad to continue with you in the name of the Emperor for cash.
Yes. I love the religious ruse. It's always a good way to get the money from the people. My name is David Lycanchump. It's a pleasure. And now, good day. I will see you at another time. Oh, wait, I need to ask the location. Here, have a direct conversation with me. Send me the coordinates later. Goodbye.
We're heading back. We're. Oh my god.
Yeah, am I going to roll cool or discipline?
You get a ping on your data slate that seems to have a message, and he seems to appropriately trim all of his messages and follow them up with emotes that strike you very accordingly of a strange mustachioed entrepreneur of some sort. Out of character, it's obviously the Monopoly Man.
Nice.
For saying that, the religious easy way of getting money from the people, do I roll cool or discipline?
You roll cool in this case.
2 difficulty.
Yes.
Check failed. 3 advantages.
As you are attempting to rapidly clamber to the door open that he is now locked as he is attempting to do his tests, Nareem just sort of pinches her brow and says, "We have a last room over here. Do not mind him. He is eccentric."
And this lady here, she's an assistant of yours.
Oh, yes. She is the position? Ah, yes, I am a acolyte of the local sisters order. I have come down here as part of a pilgrimage in the name of the Emperor.
Are
Greetings,
you
my dear.
are you looking for a few extra thrones?
Sigismund basically immediately interrupts and is like, "Greetings, my great lady acolyte."
Ah, fellow believer, I can see your insignia and your attire is not from here. Which hive are you from?
Oh, I'm not from a hive. I'm from a. I'm again. I mean, it could have been potentially I'm come from a fucking food world again. I forgot.
I forget if we ever decided
Food.
officially the name of the
Yeah.
demon world that you're from.
I did pick a name at random with a generator first session, but yeah.
We're just going to say nothing because I don't like just going on with another name. I want to keep the consistency. So you are
Same.
from a bumfuck nowhere other planet.
Thank you. That's
You
perfect.
you explain the name of your planet. We will
And
leave that
what-
as an asterisk and a footnote for now. As she nods her head and says, "I have not heard of this one. How long of a travel is it from there? And what brings you down here? Are you on pilgrimage as well?"
I believe so, for it is the Emperor that has sent me here.
Oh, you hear him too?
What did she say?
Oh, you hear him too?
But of course, I'm I'm glad to meeting you here must be a clear sign that he has something in plan for all of us.
Oh, yes, I do believe so as well. I am simply here to attend to the weak and wounded of this apartment complex here, of this hab block. It is a part of my order's creed, as it were.
A noble goal indeed.
But I must apologize. I have very much work to do in the Emperor's name. I must be on my way. I bid you the absolute best luck with your endeavors.
Of course. Thank you, my lady. And he gives her space to move if she has to leave or something.
Yeah, she winds up moving aside. And with that, she heads down the hallway and you hear the front door close up.
Yeah.
With that, Nareem turns about and looks at you both and says, "Well, now that that is done, what is she doing?" And just as she says that, you notice Phil's touching the cogitator of the room with the weird tentacle-armed man from earlier. It looks like she's attempting to lockpick a computer.
Exciting that you came back at the perfect time.
She
Also,
hears her
I
name
can't
and
leave
jumps
you.
and turns to you.
I can't leave you alone for a second.
How do these
Come here.
work?
Like, grab her hand and pull her.
uh,
Just stay behind me for now.
Fine.
I'll explain this later.
This last one has recently had a until just the other day, and their boss seems to have mysteriously disappeared. Probably another gang or accident. Got caught in the crossfire. Unsure, but Edward. And you
Oh
just
god, it's gonna be that guy that ran off the other.
and you just watch as the door opens and a individual comes up. Hey, what is it, Nareem?
Is it the man from the bar the other?
It is not, no.
Oh, okay. That'd be fun.
But his attire looks similar. He looks at you and looks at Sigismund and then looks at Philza and then looks at Nareem and just like, are you trying to get me to go to the circus or something to cheer me up?
You need a new gang.
No. A new gang. And you can smell the whiskey on his breath. He is obviously having a horrible hangover right now. You can't spend all of your days drinking away. I need you to get another job so you can pay rent. They are hiring. Can't you just give me a couple days? They killed him. That was rough. Just like pulls up another bottle of whiskey and begins to attempt to pour another shot, and she knocks it out of his hand. It cracks against the ground. These two are looking to employ. You need a job as you just lost your old one. I don't care anything about your new boss and why he looks so weird and whatnot. And just get some money.
Wouldn't be the boss. I'm only hiring for my employees.
Yes, that's fair enough. Edward here. Just had a... Do you want to... Actually, no, you're in no state to explain it. As I said, his previous boss was removed, disposed of somehow. He worked at a factory of some sort. His new boss, for some reason, is missing an arm.
Casildo's sweating. He's like trying. He's like, oh, that sounds horrible. I wonder what happened.
Oh no.
Regardless, we're looking for a little muscle or adventure.
It was a friend of mine. He was a bit of an asshole, though. And the guy retches a little bit before gaining his composure back, and he just like leans in and looks at you, and he's just like, "You look weird."
I am from the outside wastes, but I am employed just as you in this hive.
I ain't employed. The boss fired.
You could be.
He didn't like me.
You could be employed.
Done.
Great. Come with us. We're gonna take you to meet the
He just follows along, staggering behind you, and Nareem sort of like stops him as he steps forward. You should probably get some cleaner clothes on first. I got cleaner ones. All of them are in worse shape, actually. It's been a pleasure, Nareem. I will be back to pay rent. Goodbye. And he just like topples over a little bit, falls near Philza. She just sort of like pushes him back onto his feet. He tips over a little bit and continues past you.
I'll like knock on the doors as I go.
Yeah.
A couple seconds pass and the door opens again and the same figure looks at you and he's just like,
we're about to leave. Would you like to join us?
I mean, yes, I could use the extra credits. Just tell your sister, I gather, not to attempt to picklock my computer.
That was a misunderstanding. That is not what we meant to be doing.
Oh, it's a computer. That's why it wouldn't fit. Yes, that is why it wouldn't fit.
Anyway, we're gonna keep knocking on doors if you want to join. Your associate's free to join us as well.
She is perfectly inclined to stay. She is not fond of religious work.
Well, this isn't particularly religious work. He just happens to, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna knock on some more doors and we're gonna get out of here. If she wants to stay, she
Fair
can.
enough.
I'll knock on this door
You
here.
continue to knock on some doors, and your temper flares up a bit as Edward steps out with a briefcase that seems to be almost bursting at the seams as he steps out. We have business to conduct. Let us be on our way.
Incredible.
Incredible.
Knock on this door.
What's that? Hey, yeah, I got my stuff together.
We're leaving. You should come with so you know where to go.
Okay. Just sort of stops at the base of the steps and just like you hear like a bone snapping crack as he bends his spine back into place, and he's just like, that feels better. Let's be on the way. With that, you are accompanied by 3 individuals, one suspiciously old, one suspiciously drunk. Actually, no, 4 individuals. One suspiciously old, one suspiciously drunk, one suspiciously peppy, and the other one, standard sort of mechanicus kind of fare. As they all proceed to follow behind you.
Yeah, and I'll take him back to Sarah's hideout.
All right. I am going to get you guys back over there. Whoop.
The entire walk back must be hell.
Oh yes, we're not going fast travel back here. We're gonna do this walk.
Hey, it's a 2-people session. You have to get in every detail.
So, what is the name of your employer?
Sarah Creed.
Creed.
Oh, that one. I haven't heard of her. Oh, hopefully she will know how to do business properly. Can you not yell so loud? Please. Oh, my friend, I have a wonderful product to sell you. You see, throughout the Underhive, there are many plants and wildlife that are grown, but none solve hangovers so well as... He pulls out, like, a bottle, and you just, like, look at it, and you're inclined to facepalm as it just has, like, a really obvious picture of, like, a snake. And he's just like, Lichen Champ Snake Oil solves it with a pleasurable, spicy smell. I'll take it. Just like shoves a wad of credits in his hand and takes it and drinks down what is obviously just like piss water. Excellent doing business with you, my friend. And as that happens, the other what's it? Oh, he got that from the bathroom last week.
Oh my god. Casildo just like whispers down to Sigismund's like, I hope Sarah's happy with this. She probably won't send us any of these ever again.
Emperor help us.
I am able to hear you, you know.
I was talking about everyone else.
Fair enough. I can see where you're coming from. And with
somehow
that,
the guy who somehow the guy who doesn't worship the Emperor is the one Sigismund supports the most.
Yep, because he's the least nut job out of them all, just by being a fucking technophile.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, you get this interesting rabble of people coming behind you. The gentleman's hangover does not seem to improve at all during the duration of the walk, in spite of this miracle cure. The old man continues to get distracted and has to be led back to where you guys are going every now and then as he finds things along the side of the pathway on the way back. The salesman seems to be propositioning everyone that you come across to sell more of his product and has to subsequently be dragged away. And the last gentleman, whose name you never got, actually, is just seemingly just like observing everything and taking mental notes. And as you get back to the base, you hear the crickling of the gates and everything. As you are actually out front, you hear stomping and noise and a voice out there saying, "Gut, that's too close." Sorry. Just like more grumbling noises and everything as the group comes up behind you, and after a short while of standing around, the drunken fellow is just like, "So, going in or what?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, she's there.
You find Sarah Creed and Gut just inside the building, and they are currently occupied in doing something. As you finally get a little bit of a look-see on it, you can see that Gut is just moving some stuff around for her as she directs him where to go. And then she turns and looks at you, and she says, we were just restocking the fire. Any success?
We found some men to join the cause, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are all looking for work.
Well, that's about the standards I expected. Bring them in.
Yeah, just like gesture for them to come in.
They sort of make an orderly line as they come in, and the old man comes in first. He's just like, "It's a big boy. I had many of you in my regiment when I was in the guard. You were all very good workers. You're a little bit short for one, though." A name, please? What? I ain't playing no games. Quite. Your name. Oh! Why didn't you just ask? My name is Heclar. Quite. All right, welcome to the company. Your bedding quarters will be over there, she says, as she just points off in some direction. You're pretty sure she's just sending him away. All right, I'll unpack my stuff.
All of these people have apartments, so they don't need to live here.
We're going to need them to spend the night tonight as I prep for our first job tomorrow.
Makes sense.
Next, stumbling through the gate, Freddy the drunk is just like, where's your toilet? There. Thank you. He just sprints off. Next is following. He's just like, hello, you must be Sarah Creed, and you must be a salesman. Very nice to meet you. I am not currently interested in any brokering a trade deals with you, but I would appreciate your hired hand. Right to the point. I appreciate it very much so. Let me get my things settled down, and we will prepare for our first task. Exactly what kind of work are we going to be doing? I'm a gang leader. Oh, that's pretty straightforward. All right, I will be off to set my things aside. Thank you very much. Sarah just sort of rolls her eyes as he runs off.
At least the
Lastly,
last one is sane.
hello. You are a very interesting figure. Who did the mechanical accompaniment that you use? I'd rather not talk about my IVs, thank you very much. That's not the point of the job anyway. You seem like you could do some work. I can. Excellent. You seem like the only one who has half of a brain cell left to rub together. Your quarters will be over there. In the trash heap. I can deal with that for a day. If we continue our engagement, I will need better accommodations. Will be provided as things get better. Excellent. You see him, pull out a bag, and out of the bag, it seems to pop open and set up, a small table. What you can see is, just the basics of, a tinkering bench.
Hey, we at least got rid of the toxic barrel.
Yeah, we did that with Gut earlier today, he says, making up an excuse for why I had to redo this entire map because of the fuck-up that we had earlier. Shut up, nothing happened, nothing changed. Moving on.
Absolutely nothing happened, everything is fine.
I forgot what half of these things were, so... it's funny that way.
I just specifically remember that Sigismund slept next to a fucking toxic barrel there.
I can fix that if you want it back.
No.
Okay, then the toxic waste was disposed of. And by disposed of, we mean moved somewhere else where it can still be an inconvenience for someone else.
Oh, God.
Phil's, standing next to the fire and warming up a little bit. Is just like, so, what now? That's where the fun begins. Tomorrow, we start sending you all out to another job. It's going to be fun. And that job would be, you'll find out. I'm sorry, I have to withhold a little bit this time around, otherwise things will get rough.
Well, as long as it's as fun as the job today.
Considering the lot you brought back, it'll be more enjoyable, I can assure you.
Good.
Sigismund nods along.
By the way, how do you keep those flames lit?
Simply by the belief in the Emperor, of course.
Of course, of course.
I bet he's got a supply of promethium in his coat.
I mean, it is Warhammer. There's so much bullshit you can do by just... There's straight up even... the trailer for 8th edition? Where the Sister of Battle just heals her fucking flesh melting.
Oh, yeah.
Fate.
Yeah, the Emperor's will, the magic of belief. Fucking faith bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying that keeping some flames lit with enough faith probably shouldn't be too bullshit in Warhammer.
Yep. Sigismund, speaking of which, would you roll a Sinitians check for me?
Yes.
And this is a 0.
Oh.
So it's fine. I'll just...
Yeah.
Those were actually all threats. Somehow you just rolled a wash for a success, so that's good.
Epic.
I was going to say difficulty 0, and the number of successes affects this. It's basically guaranteed, but the number of successes affect it. With one success, you hear an odd whispering in the back of your skull, and all you can seem to make out is forward, ahead, go.
Where is forward? Where is ahead?
You do not pass go. You do not collect $200.
Fuck you.
But that's all you can hear, and it's a very faint whisper. Like you're half thinking that you're hearing these words and you think that's what they say, but you can hear them so faintly that you're not even sure. But this is just in the very back of your skull. It's a very weak voice.
I mean, he heard someone telling, he heard what he believed the Emperor to go forward.
All right. Do you go forward?
Yep.
How do you go forward? What does that mean? You are the Emperor's chosen one, it seems. You have to interpret it.
Oh god. So it was forward, go, and
ahead.
I mean, Sigismund is going to be like, after he finishes something, he seems a bit lost in his thought, and then he proceeds to walk forward and says, excuse me for a second. And he just seems to be looking everywhere around for like anything that could be relevant towards his front.
As you walk forward past Sarah Creed, you approach the fire barrel up here, and just as you're about unable to go yet further, as per what you believe the will of the Emperor is, the crackling flame pops and an ember lands on your hood collar. It smolders and is about to set alight and then just dims and goes away.
Sigismund will just be, he's going to be lost in thought for a bit. He's like going to check if the ember made any markings or anything.
There's a little bit of ash on your cloak. You can't seem to interpret it very well. Is basically equivalent to like just some random Rorschach. Except it's much smaller, so you don't even have that much detail.
I mean, if he has anything to note it on, he will. If not, he will probably like make a scratch somewhere in one of these walls, which is really similar to it, and then store the ash in a little pouch or something like that along those lines.
So you go proceed to do that, and Sarah, Creed, and Gut seem to watch you in curiosity, and then Sarah turns slightly to look at Casildo and is just like, do you have any idea what he's doing?
I believe he is praying to some emperor.
Oh, he's got to be a fun one, isn't he?
Yeah, he did not help with the recruitment efforts. In fact, there was one woman who was very against working for the emperor.
And I gather you explained that it wasn't a ecclesiarchy job and they didn't care.
I tried to through their closed door.
She didn't care for it, regardless of what I told her, said the gentleman over to the side, setting up his tinkering table. Oh, I apologize. I have not introduced myself appropriately. The name is Portman, at your service. As he turns to you and Sarah Creed, and he just like, on his tinkering table, he seems to be making adjustments to one of his arms extensions, and he's just like humming some sort of hymn of some sort. Sigismund, you, after doing your things, you pick up on this, and you don't recognize this as any of the like Emperor's Church hymns. You're assuming it's something from like the Church of the Omnissiah. As Sarah Creed proceeds to look at both of you and says, well, if you have any traveling you want to do, I would make it quick, as we start tomorrow. And it's going to be a bit of a journey, I'll tell you. Any questions of you two?
No, I just would like to know what kind of thing I should prepare for tomorrow. Should I clean my rifle?
Gunfight. Yes. I'll give you that much at least. If I describe anything else, it may jeopardize our mission.
Well, then I will spend the evening cleaning my rifle, and I'll be prepared for tomorrow.
Excellent.
Oh,
And you can do
I'll go
your
join
prayers to
Phil's
the Emperor and
yes.
whatnot.
I'll go join Phil's next to this.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yep.
Seeing that we'll have a possible gunfight tomorrow, Sigismund will be cleaning his chainsword and cleaning his crossbow and the crossbow bolts too, and he will probably give the chainsword to CC to fix up a bit to an extent.
And yeah, so Casildo is also going to talk to Philza, be like, listen, tomorrow's going to be pretty dangerous, so I'm going to need you to stay here. Like, we're going out for like a grown-up job. You can join me when you're old.
She looks at you and rolls her eyes. I guess I'll clean up a little bit.
Don't get into too much trouble while I'm gone. We don't want any attention, as you know.
Yes, yes. Sigismund, roll me a perception check as you look over and spot this conversation that they're having. You can't overhear anything, but I want to see if you notice something.
Perception.
Yes, it's a cognition, so
Yeah.
perception.
Yeah, 2 difficulty.
2 difficulty.
Only
Damn!
failure.
You
I mean...
get a headache again.
Fucking anything that you can do with story points for checks again, because I don't remember that with for
I think that you can use them for rerolls, but I'm not 100% on that.
Are you fine with me just doing it for a reroll because it's the end of the session anyway?
Yeah,
Well,
this is gonna
at
be the
least I'm
last
pretty
thing
sure.
of this session. Go ahead and reroll.
So I'll just roll it again. It's gonna be... it's a wash now. Amazing.
It is barely better. You now do not have a headache, but nothing happens. Amazing.
Amazing.
Fantastic. Spectacular.
Also specifically if you want me to see something but you aren't sure if it should... if it...
You probably have an
Yeah.
idea of what I'm trying to have you pick up on, but you're just not noticing yet. And I'm going to see how long this lasts because it's hilarious to me. But with that,
could
yes.
I fucking... you know what? Fuck it. Let's go further. I get a reroll and I get a strain depending on how many failures I get.
I will allow this, but if you fail even worse, then there will be consequences.
Yay. Failure and why I rolled fucking something else. I clicked.
Why did you
on
roll
perception.
negotiation?
It was-
Reroll again.
I don't know.
Motherfucker.
Fell with 1 advantage. Amazing. I'm going to.
You've
give
gone
myself
from
1 strain.
raw failure to wash to failure with advantage.
Amazing.
That has been it. But since you did fail, and I did state as such, you will be punished as you prepare to head to sleep. Your head is filled with voices and nightmares from your time on your homeworld. Your sleep is restless, and you wake up the following morning, and you take 2 strain.
Great.
Total, not just including the one that you already did to yourself, just for the reference.
Yep.
You wake up tired from poor sleep, in a bad position. Your health is recovered at this point, but you're strained and not. You wake up cranky. But we will get back to the time when you wake up when we resume next session, as I have to keep it relatively short considering our party at the moment.
Bloody moving this thing is so awkward anyways.
It is actually like that because you use 2 glory.
Sure.
You bastard.
I didn't have to use a ruin. You did a deal with the devil with me, and I gave you that repercussion as a part of that, not because of a ruin. So with that, accordingly, we will call it for today. I apologize for those of you who are looking forward to maybe a longer session, but things don't always tend to work out, and they have been not very kind to this campaign, but we will persevere, just like the Underhivers, who live in these shit conditions anyway. Thank you very much for dropping by. This has been Necromunda Genesys on Unlucky Rolls. Say goodbye, you two, or I will...
Goodbye, you two.
Okay.
Goodbye, you two.
Cunts.